Most friendships don't end with a fight. They end with a Tuesday. A regular Tuesday where neither person picked up the phone. And then another Tuesday passed. And then a month. And then somehow 5 years disappeared. No argument. No betrayal. No dramatic goodbye. Just silence. And here's what makes this strange. Right now, somewhere in your phone, there's a name you haven't texted in months. Maybe longer. That person once knew everything about you. Your fears. Your secrets. Your dreams. And neither of you decided to end it. It just quietly stopped. But here's the part that nobody talks about. There is one specific moment when every friendship either survives or starts dying. Most people miss it completely. And you've almost certainly already passed it in your closest friendships right now. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what that moment is. And why almost nobody stops it in time. Here's the first thing most people get completely wrong about friendship. They think friendships are built from memories. They're not. Friendships are built from continuing memories. That single difference explains almost everything. Think about your closest friendship right now. It probably didn't start because you had one great conversation. It started because you kept showing up. Same place, same time, same people, over and over. School, work, the same neighborhood, the same routine. Proximity created the friendship before you even chose it. And here's what the research actually found. Oxford University researchers discovered that without active regular contact, even the closest friendships begin weakening within 3 months. 3 months. Not years. Not decades. 3 months of silence and the bond measurably weakens. Which means the friendship you think is strong right now may already be fading. But this still doesn't answer the real question. Why do people who genuinely care about each other still drift apart? The answer goes much deeper than most people expect. Picture 2 people at age 22. Same apartment building. Same broke. Same bad decisions on Friday nights. They talk every day because they're living the same life. Fast forward 8 years. One has a mortgage, 2 kids, and goes to bed at 10 p.m. The other is still out on weekends, no commitments, completely free. Neither person did anything wrong. Neither person betrayed anyone. But they are now living in completely different worlds. And your brain, the ancient brain built for survival, responds to this in one specific way. It starts prioritizing whoever is physically present in your daily life. This isn't cruelty. This isn't disloyalty. This is biology doing exactly what it was designed to do. For thousands of years, humans lived in small tribes. They saw the same 30 to 50 people every single day. Your brain evolved to bond deeply with whoever shares your daily experience, and to gradually release bonds with people who disappear from that experience. Because in the ancient world, someone who stopped showing up was probably gone. Dead. Captured. Lost. Your brain learned to let go. It still does exactly the same thing today. Even when the person is just living across town. Even when they're one text message away. Your ancient brain doesn't know the difference between gone and busy. It just starts slowly closing the door. So what is that specific moment when every friendship either survives or starts dying? It's not a fight. It's not a betrayal. It's the moment your shared daily life ends. Graduation, a new job, a move, a relationship, a baby, any life change that separates your daily routines. That's the moment. And most people respond to it the same way. They assume the friendship is strong enough to survive the distance. They assume they'll catch up soon. They assume nothing needs to change because the bond feels permanent. But the brain doesn't run on assumptions. It runs on presence. And the friendships that survive these moments share one thing in common. Someone made a deliberate decision to keep showing up. Not when it was convenient. Not when life slowed down. But specifically when life got complicated. Here's the part that genuinely catches people off guard. You often don't realize a friendship has ended while it's ending. There is no final conversation. No closing scene. The last time you saw them didn't feel like the last time. The last joke didn't feel like the last joke. The last phone call felt like any other phone call. And then months became years. And now their number is still saved in your phone. And you still think about them sometimes. But neither of you is called. Studies show the average person loses half of their close friends every 7 years. Not through conflict. Through silence. Half. Every 7 years. Which means the people sitting closest to you in your life right now may not be there in 7 years. Not because anything goes wrong. Because nothing happens. Now here's where it gets even stranger. Technology promised to solve this problem. You can now stay connected to hundreds of people simultaneously. You can see what someone ate for breakfast. You can watch their vacation in real time. You can like their photo and feel like you checked in. But something deeply important is missing. Your brain knows the difference between watching someone's life and being part of it. Liking a photo releases a small amount of social satisfaction. Enough to feel like you stayed connected. Not enough to actually maintain the bond. In other words, social media created the feeling of friendship without the substance of it. You feel connected enough to not reach out, but not connected enough to actually feel close. And that gap is exactly where good friendships go to quietly disappear. But some friendships do survive. Decades pass. Lives completely change. Yet something remains. What separates these friendships from the ones that fade? It's almost never similarity. People who survive as friends often end up living completely different lives. Different cities, different values, different schedules. What they share is one thing only. They kept making room for each other's changes. They didn't expect the friendship to stay the same. They expected it to keep evolving. And they kept showing up even when showing up required effort. Not because it was easy, because they decided it was worth it. That decision, made deliberately, made repeatedly, is the only thing that separates a close friend from a stranger. Maybe that's why losing old friends feels so strange. Nobody died. Nobody slammed a door. Nobody chose to leave. Yet something important disappeared. A version of your life. A version of yourself. Because every friendship captures a specific chapter of who you were. And when that friendship quietly fades, that chapter starts feeling distant too. Good friends become strangers not because people stop caring, but because life keeps moving and nobody pressed pause. And here's the only thought worth leaving you with. Right now, somewhere in your phone, there's a name you haven't texted in months. That person used to know everything about you. And the only thing standing between friendship and silence right now is one message. The question is whether you'll send it before another Tuesday passes.